Okay, I'd just like to welcome everybody tonight. I'm super excited about this call, and it's kind of a subject that I think, it doesn't matter where you are in this business. From the time you sign up and you want to make your first post until you get all the way to Emerald, where I am, there's still times that you're going to have fears. And sometimes we just have to figure out a way to get past those fears. So, first thing I want to do, and I haven't done this before, so if you'll bear with me, there's a video that I want to show you, and some of you may have seen it. It's just a couple minutes long, but I think it's really, it was really inspiring to me the first time I saw it, and I saw it early on, and I just kind of go back and watch it every now and then. So I'm going to share my screen. Well, come on now. There it is. Can y'all see that? Yes? Okay. Okay. I hope this is the right one. That's my man. He texted me. That's my man. God done put some people around me, show me some stuff. He was telling a story. He said, this man went to heaven and he was walking with Peter down this aisleway, and he was going down this corridor, had a lot of doors on it, and said all these doors had names on it. And he said, Peter, let me ask you, what's all these doors, these names on? He said, don't worry about it, just go ahead. So he kept walking, and messed around, he saw one of them doors and had his name on it. He said, whoa. Y'all, I'm so sorry. That's the wrong video. That's so embarrassing. I am going to pull it up really fast. Give me just a second. Okay, let's hope this is the right one. If it's not, I'll just leave Y'all, I'm trying to turn the volume up. That is as loud as it will go. This is not going so well. Sorry. All he do is cut grass, but he was gifted. I got a partner on a detail shop, made $800,000 a year detailing cars. He got 6 mobile trucks. $800,000 a year. All he do is detail cars. That's his gift. That's what he loves. identify that gift. Now listen to me. When you see people in life, when you're standing on the cliff of life, you see people soaring by, you see people soaring, going to exotic places, you hear about them doing wonderful things. Maybe you look up the street and a neighbor just gets a car every year. But how is he doing it? Have you ever thought, maybe this person right here has identified their gift and is living in their gift? Because your Bible says, it's your Bible, it says your gift will make room. Your gift, not your education. You go get an education, that's nice. But if you don't use your gift, that education ain't gonna take you so far. I know a lot of people got degrees that they ain't even using. It's your gift. But the only way for you to soar is you got to jump. You got to take that gift that's packed away on your back. You got to jump off that cliff and pull that cord. That gift opens up and provides the soar. If you don't ever use it, you're going to just go to work. And if you get up going to work on a job every day that you hate going to, that ain't living, man. You just existed. At one point in time, you ought to see what living is like. But the only way to see what living like, you got to jump. Here's the problem. Just be real. When you first jump, let me tell you something. The parachute will not open right. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you, but it don't. When you jump, it's not going to open right away. You're going to hit them rocks. You're going to get some skin tore off on the cliffs. You're going to get all your clothes tore off. You're going to get some cuts on you. You're going to be bleeding pretty bad. But eventually, the parachute has to open. That is a promise of God. That ain't a theory. That's a promise. His promises is true. Because listen to me. You cannot name one single thing God has not got for you. Name it. And if he ain't got you through it, he's currently pulling you through it right now. And the living proof of it is you sitting in here. If he hadn't got you through it, you wouldn't even be here. So if he ain't never not got you through it, why would he not let your parachute? It has to open, man. But you got to jump, though. Now, here's another thing. You can play it safe. Deal without the cuts and tags. You can stand on that cliff of life. You don't jump. I got another promise. The parachute will never open. You'll never know. You never know what God really has. See, your God has a wonderful life. Once again, I'm going to refer to your Bible. Go down there, you memorize these scriptures, you don't apply them to yourself. Your Bible says that he promised to give you life, give you life more abundant. If I were you, I would jump. Because that's the only way to get to that abundant life. You got to jump, man. You got to take a chance. Now, when I get through talking, there are those of you who have discussed this in the car. Well, I got bills, and I got bills. Whether you stay on the cliff or you jump, you're going to have bills. Well, if I quit my job, I'm going to ruin my credit. If you got a job, you live from check to check. Even if you got A1 credit, you can't buy nothing else no damn way. At one point in time, man, do yourself a favor. Go see what God really did. God hold you up, man. He ain't going to let you fall. He ain't bring you this far and let you fall. Do yourself a favor, man. Before you leave this world, before you die, jump. Just jump one time. Just jump. Thank you very much.
Wow. What did y'all think about that? That was so impressive to me the first time that I saw it. It just really spoke to me because at the time I was very fearful. And I know sometimes when you see somebody that has reached emerald or, sapphire, diamond or whatever, and you think, oh my gosh, what have they got to be fearful about? Y'all, everybody has them. Everybody has those fears. So if you give me just 1 second, going to share my screen real quick again. Sorry, this is taking me a little bit. I'm not used to sharing stuff like that. And I had some notes up here. Okay, I'm going to get started here. I just have a few notes that I just wanted to pull up while I'm doing this, because there's a lot of things I want to cover, and I just don't want to leave some things out. Okay, goodness, I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay, first of all, I'm having technical difficulties, y'all. I'm so sorry. This has never happened to me before. Okay. One more try. Okay. First of all, you know, we're just talking about our fears tonight, and a lot of times the first thing that we are fearful of is rejection. And that is what I want to talk about just for a minute. You know, when I first started this, you know, even making my first post, I was probably terrified. And, you know, when I sent out that first message, I was terrified. But y'all, our job is to share the products and the business, but we've got to realize that, you know, at the end of the day, these people that we're reaching out to and that we're posting to, they have to make the decision to join us on their own. So, you know, I've heard someone talk about this before. I believe it was Angie Zumwalt. You know, she was talking about waiting tables. She used to wait tables, and she, you know, she said that she would go up to a table, and if somebody, you know, she would spend time telling them at the end of their meal, you know, what desserts they had. She would go over, you know, how delicious they were, all the different options. And, you know, then they say, no, thank you. Well, what are you going to do? Are you going to say, you know, oh my gosh, I stink at being a waitress, and, you know, and then I'm just going to quit because nobody wants my dessert? Absolutely not. You're going to move on, and because you realize that, you know, there's going to be another table of people who want dessert, and there's going to be, you know, always be somebody else that wants, you know, everything that I have to offer. So when we're sharing a product, you know, and an opportunity, it's ultimately up to that person to decide if they're going to join you. Some of your very best friends, they're not going to join us no matter how we present it, no matter what we do. They're just not. Does that mean that we give up on them? No. It just means that we're not going to give up. We're not going to get down on ourselves. Because I promise you, y'all, I have many family and friends who never joined me, and they just now, you know, jumped in. Actually, several of my cousins have just jumped in after watching me do this for like 23 months. That makes me super excited and super happy, but that just means that, you know, I haven't given up. Both of them actually were on my list since the beginning. And patience is really something that I've had to learn, and I've learned to stick with, you know, from day one. I do remember, you know, some of my ambassadors that, you know, when they very first started out with me, they're like, why won't these people listen to me? You know, I'm trying so hard to explain, you know, how these products and how this business can help them. And that is just one thing that I've kind of preached from day one is patience. Y'all, patience is so hard to have sometimes whenever we know what we have, what kind of opportunity, we know what kind of products we have. Sometimes that's, you know, that can be hard. But I just want to talk to you a little bit about how you can, you know, disassociate yourself with rejection. In the beginning, or especially when sometimes we're trying to reach personal goals, maybe ranking up, sometimes we can appear, you know, a little bit needy. almost begging people to join us by like posting, specials every other week, or posting about how we're trying to reach our personal goals and need help with that, or being too pushy, when we message people over and over. We have to let them know, about the products and about the business and how it's going to be really good for them. But y'all, if they don't like it, it does not, it makes no difference to us either way. I know that, may sound a little harsh, but we don't ever want to appear needy or desperate, because we always have to let our potentials know that we have their best interest at heart. They need to know that what we're doing, that we're going to do this with or without them. And, we've got to be okay with that either way. And they need to know that. They have to know that if they don't order or they don't sign up whenever they say they're going to, because that, that happens a lot, that we're not going to be upset with them. It's just, it's not a personal thing. And y'all, that was really hard for me in the beginning. We have to just learn to be okay with the fact that they may or may not join us on this journey. If you message someone and they don't respond back, learn to be okay with that too. Sometimes we message people, and you know how you see that little dot at the bottom whenever you message somebody on Facebook, and you can tell whether they've seen that message or not. Sometimes we can be like, oh my gosh, I sent that message 3 days ago. She saw it, never responded to it. Do not go back and look at that message. I know it's hard, but just, learn to be okay with it. You'll absolutely be amazed at how many people will message you back after, a week or two sometimes. I sent out a ton of messages last week, and y'all, I'm still getting messages back from people that are just now looking at their Facebook, because a lot of people just, obviously, they're just not on Facebook as much as we are. Or they're not on Messenger as much as we are. So I will say this: if you know somebody, if you know somebody willing to have their phone number in your phone, get them on the phone and call them. That's a whole lot easier and just a lot more effective than a Facebook message. But don't get down on yourself if you send out those messages and you don't get replies right away. People are just super busy. A lot of times you'll see a message when they're at work or with other people, and they just don't have time to respond. Do not be your worst enemy by obsessing over if they've seen the message or not. Gosh, I'm so guilty of that. And it's something that I have learned now. I just send the message out and I just go on with my day. Or, if it's somebody that I'm a little bit nervous about, maybe I'll, pick up my phone and I will message them. And then I'll just put my phone down at night. I go to sleep, and, then sometimes I don't think about it anymore. Sometimes I pick up the phone in the morning and check, but I'm not just sitting around all day, just stressing about whether they've seen that message or not. Y'all, that if you can learn that from the beginning, you will be so much more effective with your cold messages, with your following up with people. You're doing your part, and then you have to leave it in their court. That doesn't mean to not ever follow up with them, because obviously we have to do that. But that, that first time that you're reaching out, you've got to make sure that you're, you're sending those messages, and you just don't, you don't stress about it. Sometimes people say yes, sometimes they'll say no, sometimes they'll say nothing at all. That is completely normal. So being okay with them not joining you right away, it's a great way, to handle it, but do not take them off your list. I continue to follow up with people usually once a month, or, depending on the person and how the conversation goes. Maybe I'll follow up with them when a new product comes out. We've had 3 recently, so we've had a ton of reasons to reach out to people. Or, if there's another a special like we've got going on this week, that is a perfect time to follow up with people. If they tell me no, I'm absolutely going to respect the fact that they tell me no. But I just know that they may eventually come around. I've had that happen actually many times. I always use Wendy Doyle. I'm not sure she's on here. But sometimes I use her as an example because she's one of those people that I reached out to, and I continued to follow up with her. And then she, just told me no. And she told me that, after just kind of like at the restaurant, I kind of told her everything we have, all the different options. And, at the time she just wasn't really interested and told me it was too expensive. And so I was like, okay. So I just kind of moved on. And then a month or 2 later, I got a message from her that she's ready to start. And so I was really excited about that. And okay, I'm just making y'all still around. She's on my team now, and she's doing awesome. I will tell you, I was pretty skeptical myself in the beginning. So whenever people are skeptical, I try to give them, the benefit of the doubt, and I give them a little bit of space to do their research. And I give them plenty of time, I would say. Usually when I send a message to somebody, if I don't hear back from them, then I'm not, I won't message them again right away. But if I do hear back from them and we, have a little bit of conversation, and then they don't, place an order or anything, I'll give them probably 3 to 5 days, and I'll follow up. If I don't really hear anything back from them again right then I'll do it in about a month, and then, continue to follow up in about a month. So if there's anybody that's, that you've got a fear about posting, this is something that is probably the basics of what we do. And, if you have to ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could possibly happen if you post on Facebook? And that's for you people that are, brand new, that you've, never posted, or maybe you've done just a couple of posts and you're just, nobody really responded to it, so you're kind of scared now. I have to tell you that the one person that I was worried about when I first started, she was someone who claimed to be my friend, and she was actually my boss's wife when we lived in Italy. And I won't really say any names because some of you guys may know who I'm talking about. But when I was close to gold, she made a very ugly comment on Facebook about Plexus. She made it on her personal wall, and we have a ton of mutual friends. Y'all, and then she deleted me as a Facebook friend. And to say I was crushed was an understatement. I wouldn't say we were close or anything, but I really didn't consider her somebody that would do something like that to me. And she did. My daughter and her daughter were best friends the whole time we lived there. And then her daughter deleted all my daughter's pictures off of off of Instagram. My daughter doesn't even have Facebook right now, but that was super hurtful. But, I took a day or two, and I did have a pity party. And then I realized that, if she was truly my friend, she would have supported me, and she would not have done that. That was hard. That was really, really hard. And I'll be honest, I almost quit. It just, it crushed me, because I'm that yellow personality. I want everybody to like me, and it was hard. But I actually had posted my first video on Facebook right about that time, and it was right after I posted that video that she did that. So some of you, I know I've talked to different people about, sometimes every now and then somebody will post a negative comment, or, maybe you've got a negative message. Y'all, you have to realize that, that speaks more volumes about the person than it does about you. I realized how many lives I had already changed, and it just drove me to push harder. When I went Emerald, I saw that she liked my husband's post about me being recognized at convention, and it honestly made me very proud that I did not let one person's negativity bring me down or stop me at all. I'm sure I've had probably, a few people unfollow me throughout this journey, but honestly, I don't even care now. If they don't want to see Plexus, that's totally okay. I'm doing what makes me happy, and what I feel that the Lord has called me to do, and I think it's all worth it for sure. A few things that you are going to need to do every day, at a minimum, y'all. The first thing is post consistently and post daily. If you're not doing that, and then you come to me saying you don't know why you're not growing, then honestly, and I don't mean to be harsh, but I cannot help you if you're not posting daily. Y'all, that is just the basics of what we do. And if you're just starting out, please hear me when I say this. I'm not trying to be harsh, but that is, again, that's just the basics. That, that's not everything we do, but if you're not doing that, then how are people going to know that anything about Plexus? How are they going to know, that you're even selling it? And how do they know what an amazing opportunity it is? How do they know how amazing the products are? There's really, just not much else we can do. So if you're not reaching out to 3 to 5 people a day as well, then you're not going to grow. That's just, those are the 2 basic things that we do, posting and reaching out. And again, you know, what's the worst thing that can happen if you do that? You know, it's just that simple. Those are the basics. You know, when I was in Ellen Ford's coaching group, I was in there from the time I was about not quite gold all the way. Actually, I'm still in that group, but, you know, I don't participate as much now, but all the way up to emerald. And I told her one day, you know, that I just couldn't cold message because I was so terrified. And I mean, I laugh now because I think it's funny, but her response was pretty blunt.
So tell me you're here. So I'm going to do a quick, I'm not going to do a demo because I already have my nails on, but I'm going to kind of illustrate.
Can you guys mute yourselves?
I'm going to be posting.
Okay. Okay. Her response was very blunt. And like I said, basically she just told me that if I was not willing to cold message, then, you know, I would not make it to the top. And I was kind of like, I don't know what I expected. I kind of expected her to, you know, tell me, oh, it's okay. You'll be okay without doing that. Y'all, you cannot make it to the top without posting and cold messaging. Again, those are the 2 basic things. Again, like I had to take a minute, kind of step back and go, okay, I've got to make a decision. Was it worth it to me to send out some messages every day and, you know, put our family in a position that we could retire and help my children pay for college, drive a free Lexus, go to Hawaii each year? Or was I going to let my fear paralyze me? And y'all, that is, you know, it's a real fear. I'm not sitting here trying to, you know, make light of it because I do understand. And when I first started, you know, I heard some diamonds talking. They're like, well, if you just can't call message, then I don't know. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I want you to realize that I do understand where you're coming from because I was there. But, you know, like I just said, I had to make, you know, the decision whether I was going to get past those fears and do what she was teaching me to do. And y'all, it worked. I made a decision right then and there, you know, that I was just going to do it. I was going to follow her advice and do what she said. I was going to post daily and reach out to people. Do I get responses to all my messages? No, absolutely not. And but I do get some who are very thankful that I reached out, and their lives have been changed, y'all, because I had the guts to do it. I mean, I've got over 1,200 people, close to 1,300 people now that have started, you know, that at least tried the product since I started. I think that's huge. That's a lot. That's not even remotely counting all the customers, you know, from all the ambassadors that I have on my team that, you know, that have tried Plexus. They never would have tried it had I not ever decided to share. I do feel like, you know, that God has blessed me with this opportunity to not only get healthy myself, but to help as many friends and family as I can, you know, to get healthy. I've had so many family that have been, you know, taken by cancer and different, you know, diseases, close family too. And also I had a family member commit suicide. I know that some of y'all know about that. And I truly, you know, honestly believe that gut health is related to mental health and of course your overall health. And I'm just kind of on a mission to help, you know, all those people get healthy physically and mentally. And, you know, sometimes I have to just think about, you know, I have to just kind of get over myself. You know, I'm not that important. What my job is very important, and that's to reach out to people to try to help them to get healthy, to be there for their families. And my family in particular, I mean, I'm having, you know, different ones finally, y'all, after 2 years, reach out to me. And that's been my goal all along. So that is just super important to me. And I hope that, you know, whenever you're thinking about your why and why you're doing this, that you have something big that's going to drive you. You know, maybe you're very fortunate, you know, to not have a lot of illness in your family. But I would venture to say that most people on here probably do, either yourself or somebody else, or I don't think you would, you know, be involved in something like this. Excuse me. Sometimes, you know, people have to get to a breaking point in their life before they decide to jump into something like this, like Steve Harvey was saying. Maybe, you know, maybe their health took a turn for the worst, or their spouse, you know, suddenly lost their job or got a cut in pay. Or something in one of your posts finally clicked with them. Y'all, it's all about God's timing. I say that over and over. And I don't mean that it's God's timing that, you know, you can just post on Facebook and all these people are going to run to you and sign up, because that's not what I'm saying. I am saying that, you know, if you do your part, which is posting and reaching out daily, you know, God's plan is perfect. And I feel like, you know, if you're doing your part, then he's going to do his. And, you know, it's a perfect plan. If I try to second guess it, and wonder if, then I think I would always be discouraged. One of the things we talked about in Emerald training at convention was, you know, when you were just starting out or when I was just starting out, you know, they asked this question, you know, if I could just get 3 people to join me and I hit silver, you know, then will I be happy? Then the same thing with gold. If I can get just 20 people to join me, you know, I'll be content. And then when she asked, how many of you thought that if you could just hit emerald, that all of your problems would be solved and you wouldn't have any, you know, fears anymore and you'd be happy? And y'all, half the room raised their hands. It was very enlightening to me to see, you know, especially as a brand new emerald. I was in the room with people that I had, you know, watched, I had followed on Facebook, on YouTube, and I looked at them, you know, on my journey, and to see that they all still have fears was honestly pretty comforting. It made me feel like, you know, that I wasn't the only one, because I can promise you, even as you get, you know, to my rank, and you know, there's always going to be fears. Like my fear of getting on this call and screwing up that video like I did at the very first, it happened. But you know what? I'm still, I mean, nothing, you know, it happened. Oh, well, I mean, I just have to get over the fact that sometimes things don't always go as planned. And sometimes you just have to make the move. You know, the difference in all those people at convention, and, you know, the emeralds and all the jewels, all the difference in them and those who aren't necessarily progressing at the rate they want to be, or those people that just maybe have a negative attitude in the beginning, is that they've, you know, most likely we've been told no more times, probably many more times. We've probably been ignored many more times, and we've probably pushed ourselves out of our comfort zone many more times. And, you know, if you're growing a team, sometimes there could actually be something we call fear of success. You know, I talked to a particular leader on my team, and I won't say any names, but as she was ranking up, she did have a fear of success. And, you know, sometimes we start growing these teams, and then you get to a point and you're like, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. Y'all, if I know sometimes you're thinking, you know, I can't even get one person, you know, so I just can't even get one person to join me or whatever. But I promise you, we've all had fears, and, you know, leading a team, that's a real fear. But there's things that you can do, y'all. You see, I see a lot of people rank up to gold or senior gold, and then they kind of just, you know, they're like, whew, it was a lot of work to get there. So they just kind of sit back and they kind of stop. And I kind of call it the slow fade. You know, they kind of just slow down posting on their team page or whatever. They worked really hard to get there. And, you know, maybe they have a rock star on their team, and they either feel like they can just, you know, sit back and let that rock star get them to the top, or they actually have to start leading that team, and they're, you know, maybe you're terrified. Y'all, if you're bringing people into this business, it's your responsibility to step up and lead them. It's not your upline's responsibility, although we are always definitely there to help you in any way, but ultimately it's your responsibility. People are looking to you, you know, to figure out how to start even. They're in the same place that you were when you first started. So they're, they want to figure out how to start posting, how to follow up, how to reach out. Even if you don't really know how to do those things, y'all find out. Get with your upline and figure it out so that you can teach your team. I always say it, and y'all hear me say it all the time, fake it till you make it. Get some network marketing books. I actually going to show y'all too right here. The 21 Laws of Irrefutable Leadership. That is an excellent book by John Maxwell. And this one, everyone communicates, but few connect. That is an excellent book too. So, get into some network marketing books. There's so many out there. Rock Your Network Marketing Business. You've got to build your belief and build your self-confidence, because I promise you, if, we all are not necessarily confident when we first start doing this, but that we've got to dig deep. If you want this, you can totally do it, y'all. If I can do this, this is somebody that I wouldn't even get on a Zoom call when I first started. For the first 4 months, I did not even get on a Zoom call with my upline. That's crazy. And now I'm running my own, but, get some network marketing books and just spend a few minutes every day. That's going to help build your confidence, because you're going to know what to do. Watch videos. I know I'm preaching to the choir, and this sounds so simple, y'all, but sometimes we can get into a place where we just feel like, oh, I've read them all. I've watched all the videos. I don't know. I just can't do this. Y'all, this business is kind of up and down. You're going to have days that you're like, oh, I signed up, that person that's on my chicken list. And then then you're going to have days that somebody calls you and they quit, and, you've poured into them and you've given them everything, and you just don't understand why they're quitting. And, maybe you have 2 people quit in the same day, and you think, I just can't do this. I'm going to quit, but y'all think about all those other people that you can help. That has happened to me plenty of times. That's always why you continue to recruit level ones. No matter how high you get in this business, you always have to continue to recruit level ones. So, if you slack, guess what? Your team is going to slack. I say this all the time, y'all, and it's not, rocket science, but it's just almost like a follow the leader thing. You are the leader. Even if you have one person on your team, if you are not duplicating by adding people to team pages, if you're not doing 3-way messages when somebody joins, if you're not doing those 3-way messages with them and your 2 uplines, guess what? Your team won't do it either, and you'll stop growing. And if you aren't doing the basics by posting and doing it right, not just posting graphics all the time, and by making your post personal, not necessarily very salesy, then your team's going to do the same thing. So whatever you do, they will follow you. I promise you, if I slack, my team slacks, and I can totally see it. So I'm not saying that you can't take, some time for yourself. We all have to, but y'all, you need to plan ahead. You need to make sure that you're using posting apps. There's, for team pages, there's Postcron and Buffer. They will both post to, they'll both post to your team pages. So if you're going to go on vacation, like I'm going to be going on vacation here in a couple weeks, and sorry, my phone keeps I'm going to use those posting apps to help me, to keep up with my team while I'm gone. So, I know we're all busy, and we all can find an excuse to not do something. We can find an excuse to, scroll through Facebook for an hour and say we've been working hard. Y'all, if you're taking time away from your family, to work Plexus, and you're scrolling Facebook, and you're not using that time wisely to, doing your income producing activities, which is, posting, reaching out to your people, working with your team, y'all, please don't do that. If your family is sacrificing that time, make sure you're using it wisely. Make sure you get on my team page and print out those daily action stack sheets. They're in the files on my team page. Those are wonderful to keep you focused and just to keep you doing those things that you know to do every day without getting sucked in. Because we can all make excuses, y'all. Even I do it sometimes. I, get busy answering messages from my team. And then next thing I know, it's 2 hours of my day is gone and I haven't done my IPA. You've got to make sure that that is getting done before anything else. Your team's messages will wait. But if you've got, customers and, wholesale ambassadors, you need to make sure you're taking care of them before you do any other activities. Okay. The steps to succeed. Of course, post. Y'all, I know I said it probably 5 times, but I see some people that, they start this and they're just slacking and posting. And I don't mean to be pushy with that, but it's so important. Also, instead of just posting, make sure that you're, making connections with other people that have nothing to do with Plexus. Connect with those people on their posts. Message a few people a day that has absolutely nothing to do with Plexus. Y'all, that's an easy way to open up communication, and you don't have to feel like you're just pushing Plexus on people all the time. Because probably organically, Plexus is going to come up just in conversation. Keep up with your level ones. Talk to them at least once a week. At least I'm talking about the people that are working the business. I know sometimes, we have a lot of chat threads going on. Excuse me, and that's great, but silence from an upline can crush somebody. When I first started this, sometimes I wondered, why my, upline didn't reach out to me all the time. Now I understand it, because sometimes when you get a big team, sometimes it's hard to reach out to every single level one every day, but it's important, y'all. It's important if you get into your back office and print out that whole list of level ones and make sure, if you have to write it on your calendar, just like you do with people that you're reaching out to, do it. It's very, very important. Building your relationships with those people, because y'all, we're in the relationship business. Sometimes people will follow you just because, the relationship that you have with them. It wouldn't matter if you were selling, I don't know, candles, or nothing against, if you've sold that, it doesn't matter what you were selling. People will, follow you, and because of the relationship that you've had. And, even having relationships with your downline, it's very, very important. You can't depend on those threads to keep up the relationships. You have to make sure that you're personally reaching out to people. Because sometimes people may be really discouraged, about simple things, about these fears that we talked about. And just a few minutes of your time is going to make all the difference in the world. Today I had someone message me, and she's on here. I won't say any names, but it just made me laugh because she told me that, that she felt like I was a celebrity to her. And I was like, what? Oh my goodness. I had never considered myself like that, y'all. I'm just sitting here in my yoga pants in my house. I've got piles of laundry. I'm just a normal person, just like y'all are. It just kind of made me laugh because Julia told me that one time. I was like, my team really wants to hear from you because it was the time she was Emerald, and she said, but you've got to realize that you're like that to your team. And I want y'all to realize that, maybe you're not Emerald, but you have succeeded in this business. And, there's always somebody that wants to be where you are, whether you've just added one ambassador to your team or you're all the way, at the top of the company. There's always going to be somebody out there that wishes they had what you have. So just make sure that, you're keeping up those relationships with your team. There might be somebody out there, even somebody that you personally recruited, that might be scared, to reach out to you for whatever reason. And, even if they sign up under you, y'all, people need to be led. Everybody does. If you feel like you don't have a clue what you're doing, you can rest assured that I did not either. I had to learn it just like y'all did. I got on my Upline's team page. I, watched every video that I could get my hands on. I still do. I watch videos all the time. And, the only way to do that is, go ahead and schedule that sip and see that you've been terrified to do. Y'all just put it on the calendar and make yourself do it. You can go ahead and schedule that team call or that Facebook Live that you've been meaning to do. Because sometimes once you just get it on the calendar, it forces you to do it. Now, those are so, so important. If you have a team and, even if it's just, a few people, particularly those of you that have a team page, your team needs to see your face at least once a week. And that means either doing a live video or, you can record a video if that makes you feel more comfortable. And you don't have to, be all dolled up, have on all your makeup or, hair perfect. Just throw on a hat. Sometimes I put on sunglasses if I didn't do makeup that day or whatever, and just do it. That's the beauty of places. You don't have to, get fully dressed. I'm telling you, I've got on yoga pants, and just do it, y'all. That people just want to hear from you. They don't care if you're all dressed up. They don't care, if you've been outside working. They don't care. Just do it. Again, your team, they need to see you at least once a week. This week we've got the week of pink going on, and I think it's going fantastic. I've asked quite a few people on our team to step up, and some of them push them pretty far out of their comfort zone to do these videos, but y'all, they're stepping up to the plate, and I'm super proud of the ones that have done that. It can be very scary sometimes to get on a group. There's a couple hundred people in that group, but I can promise you that was the hardest part for me. When I first started, Julia asked me to do a team call. Y'all, there was over 100 people on that call, and all I had to do was talk about one product, and I stressed about it for over a week, and it was probably terrible, but I didn't die, and it just made me push myself that much harder. It made me it made it a little bit easier to do it the next time. And every time you do it, it's going to get a little bit easier and a little bit easier. And the next thing you know, you'll be leading calls like this, and you might stress a little bit too. I don't really stress about them anymore, but sometimes again, the video didn't go as planned, but you just go with it. Nobody ever expects you to be perfect, because we all know most of us are just, I'm pretty sure all of us are just regular people, stay-at-home moms or working moms, or, we have so many different, I guess, walks of life, and, people from all over the place, and, different kinds of jobs and different backgrounds. And we all have different fears. So I just, encourage you to, push yourself out of whatever it is that you're scared of. If you're brand new and thinking, I can't even make my first post until I get all my ducks in a row, and I know everything there's to know about all the products, then it might, honestly, y'all, it might take you forever, to build your business. I'm not saying, to have a couple things planned out, but, you don't have to sit back for months and months until, the products have completely healed you, and, you've set up an entire team page, and everything there is to know, because you're never going to know everything there is to know. Just put it out there and ask people to join you. It's pretty much as simple as that. There's people out there that are suffering. I mean, that's honestly the way I feel. And the longer you wait, the longer they have to wait to be, told about this amazing opportunity. Okay, so your homework for tonight is I want you to write down your top 3 fears. And I want you to message me and your upline what those fears are. Put us in a group message. And I want to come up with a plan, y'all, for it to help you push past them. If your fear is making a video for your personal wall, what's the worst thing that can happen? Somebody may not watch it. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what the worst thing is can happen. I'll be honest, I was scared before I did mine, but I did it. And I've done several, and they went over very well. It actually helped my business a lot. So I think if you're brand new and that's something that, you're scared to do, I would really encourage you to sit down and write out your why. why you've started doing Plexus. I know there's a lot of people on this call that have actually done that, and they've done extremely well. Again, they were probably scared before they did it, but they did it. That's the whole point. We're kind of in a world of, social media, and you can rest assured that if you're scared, your team is too, but if you won't do the things that you're asking them to do, they can see right through that. I don't think that I would have ever asked my team to do a video on their personal wall if I'd never done it. I think that you need to step up to the plate, and be a leader. If you're telling your team, push hard, maybe because you really want to go like to leaders retreat or, something like that. But you aren't willing to post and reach out yourself, y'all, your team sees right through that, and they will not push themselves, and you'll lose credibility. I really think that you need to do all those things that you're asking your team to do. Once you have a team page and you invite people to join you on that team page, again, it's your responsibility to keep up with that page. You should be posting probably no less than 4 times a day. If you're busy, use Postcron or Buffer to schedule those posts like you would on your personal page. And if you can't keep up with the team page yet, y'all, just don't make one. You put your people on your uplines page. I've seen it time and time again that people start a team page and they get frustrated because their team's small, and there's really not much participation going on. And so they post, only maybe once or twice a week. They back off. And then maybe they only copy, what their upline's posting, because again, there's a fear of rejection even when you're running a team page. But be the rock star that you want your ambassadors to be. Get out there and recruit your level ones by, reaching out to people every day, y'all. That creates passion. That's how you grow your team, is by you being the rock star that you want your team to be. There's not much else than you can do that's going to create momentum like you personally recruiting yourself. I think that is, one of the, if that's the best advice I could give you, that would be it. And that's what, that's the advice that's been given to me by every one of my uplines. And I try every single month to add 3 level ones. Now, do I always succeed? No. The longer you do it, it might get a little more difficult, but that's whenever you have to, find other groups to be in, join a Bible study, join a different gym, join other groups on Facebook. Always constantly be adding to your Facebook friends list and be adding to your list of 100 people. Daily affirmations and how you talk to yourself, y'all, that's absolutely huge. And I know you hear people talking about that, and that you might feel silly doing it, but I want you to write down 3 positive affirmations this week, and I want you to say them to yourself every single day. It's so easy to think that maybe, sometimes that only your team, only wants to hear from your upline. Y'all, I can promise you that's not true. If they're on your team, they want to hear from you. Maybe you don't say this, like I could easily say that my team only wants to hear from Julia Carty because she is a Diamond Ambassador, and she's actually in Musha K right now because she was number 7 in the entire company. I could sit back and say, my team only wants to hear from Julia because she's that good. Y'all, she is amazing. But, I have to, realize that, I may say not the same things that Julia says, but, maybe I can say it in such a way that it'll reach somebody else. And just like she can say it in such a way that, can reach other people too. And you're the same way, maybe, your team doesn't want to just hear from me. They want to hear from you because you have your own way of doing things, and you need to share that with your team. Again, if you're terrified to do the videos, I'll just do it. If you have to practice, go ahead. But I encourage you not to, don't stress about it and don't rewatch the videos over and over. Just do the video and post it. If you're a leader on my team or you have a team page, I want your goal to be posting 4 times a day and to make a video once a week for your team. The more you do it, the easier it will get. If you only have wholesale customers and no one working the business, I still want you to do a video. You can gear it towards your products. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the business, but you can always tell your team about the 10% joining special. This is a great time to do a video for your team if you haven't been doing one. They don't have to be crazy long, but you can even start by doing maybe your testimony, and that could just help you do the videos. We have a lot of people that do videos on our team, and I'm really proud of y'all for doing that. But like I said, if you're brand new or you're just starting a team page or something like that. And again, your homework for tonight is to message your upline and me your 3 fears, your 3 biggest fears. It doesn't matter what they are, y'all. It could be sometimes they might seem, silly, but it's still a fear and something you need to push past. And then I also want you to write down 3 positive affirmations that you say to yourself. You can say them out loud. You don't have to message that to me or anybody else, but I want you to say that to yourself. Write them on your, put them as your screensaver, put them on stickies, stick them on your refrigerator, and just say them to yourself, all week. And I think, as we change our mindset and, we change that self-doubt, those fears will start to change. And I know y'all, sometimes you think, oh, that sounds silly. That's easy for you to say. Y'all, it's not silly. And it's something that I've had to work on myself. I didn't come into this business being as confident as I am now about Plexus and about being able to share it. It's something I've had to work on. And some of you are gifted. Some of y'all people on here are very gifted, and I know it. But, I just want you to use that to your advantage. And if you don't feel like you're gifted, I want you to work on that too, because you all have a gift in some way. I have met the most amazing people on this team, and sometimes it just blows me away. My husband, met a ton of you at convention, and one day we were talking, he was like, you really have some awesome people on your team. And that's coming from my husband, who just met y'all, just that week. He could tell right away that we have something special on this team. And I just, I want us to use those gifts that God has given us, and, don't sit back and be terrified. Push past, y'all. It is so, so worth it. Yes, is it work? Yes, it is work. I'm not going to sit here and say that this is like winning the lottery. It absolutely is not. It does take work, but, we're sitting in a position now that, my husband can think about retiring, and, we can help our kids with college, getting to, go to Hawaii and driving the Lexus. These are all things that I put on my dream board when I first started Plexus. Y'all, and I did it in 20 months. And if I can do that, y'all absolutely can do that. I'm like the Hot Mess Express. So if I can do this, y'all absolutely can. I think that's pretty much, one more thing that I wanted to discuss. And I know we're like running over time, so I'm just going to make this really fast. I want you to absolutely stay away from negative people. Y'all, if you, find a power partner and, y'all are, get to know each other real well. And then one of you starts, constantly complaining maybe about the back office, or constantly complaining about another team member, or really anything in life. It doesn't even have to be about Plexus. Y'all, I'm here to tell you, stay away from them. Do not get caught up in that. It'll spill over into, your family. It'll spill over into your team. Sometimes your friends have that one negative friend. You can tell they've been hanging around that negative friend because they get a bad attitude and they start getting in trouble. It is the same thing with us. Stay away from negative people. They will pull you down. Then you'll start comparing yourself to other people's journeys. People that we've seen a lot of rank ups lately. You'll start looking at that and you're like, oh, well, good for her. That's not what you really mean. And it's easy to get with somebody else, because misery loves company. And, the sooner you get those people out of your life, or you steer clear of them, the better off you're going to be. Find somebody who's going to celebrate your success and run with them, y'all. Lock arms, and y'all do this together. This business will show you pretty quickly, how people are, if they're negative or if they're getting positive. And I don't mean just Plexus people. I mean, people in your life, your family, your friends, I'm not saying get rid of your family, but maybe limit the time that you're around, maybe if it's a cousin or, whatever. Because, again, negativity just breeds more negativity. And again, like I said, I've had to learn that early on too. So just focus on the positives and, face those fears. Y'all want to make sure you send me those 3 fears this week. And let me pull y'all back up here for a second. Okay, I'm going to unmute y'all real fast and just see if anybody's got any questions. Okay, that didn't work. If you've got a question, then you can unmute yourself. How about that? I'll give it just a second. Anybody?
Brandy.
Hey.
Hey, what was the second John Maxwell book that you put up? Sorry, random.
It's okay, y'all probably can't see it. It's called Everyone Communicates, Few Connect.
Okay.
That is an excellent book. And then, of course, this was the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And there's so many good network marketing books. I wish I had my list right now, but I'll try to post a list on my team page of some good books. And, y'all leaders, what good books that you've read is The Barefoot Executive. Yes, Carrie Wilkerson. She is awesome because we just saw her at convention. She is amazing. Yeah. Anybody else?
I just read Rock Your Network Marketing Business. It was awesome.
Yes. Excellent book. It is really good. I'm going to take a team picture real fast, and then I'm going to get off here because I know it's getting late. Okay, y'all smile. Okay, I'm going to flip it one more time. Okay, y'all smile. All right, I'm going to do one more group. Oh, that's it. Okay. Okay, y'all, I really, really appreciate everybody getting on here. And if y'all ever have any questions, I hope this helped a little bit. I don't want you to think that you're the only one that's ever had fears, because I promise you, I still have fears, but I just have to, push past them. And if you want to move up, message me. I can help, y'all. This is what I do. And your upline can help. Anyway, I hope that y'all have a great night, and I will be seeing most of y'all soon. Don't forget our special. We've got just 4 more days, y'all. Get out there and message people. Message everybody you know. I promise you there's going to be somebody that's going to jump on with you. Okay? All right. Y'all have a good night. Let's stop recording.